One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent.
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
The second Diddy saw 50 Cent step into that courtroom, everything froze. His eyes widened, jaw locked, hands shaking under the table. This wasn't the composed music icon we thought we knew. By day 3, witnesses said Diddy completely snapped, right after 50 Cent shocked the room by backing Cassie in front of everyone. What happened next left jaws on the floor, and what it revealed could destroy everything he's spent decades building.
Now, Fifth, when you continuously call Puff gay, does that affect your relationships in Hollywood?
I don't call him gay. I said,
Let me read it, Fifth.
Oh my God.
Sorry I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves in theaters January.
Oh, that's why he says things. He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he says something fabulous and he goes, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out. No, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't understand anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic. Or
For 3 decades, Sean Diddy Combs built an empire, not just with music or business, but with image control. We watched him glide down red carpets, smile through interviews, and spin scandals like they were marketing stunts. He wasn't just untouchable, he was unshakable. Remember that 2017 interview? A reporter pushed him about alleged payoffs to ex-employees. Diddy didn't flinch. He adjusted his suit, flashed that signature smirk, and switched topics like a pro. In 2012, when his restaurant venture crashed and burned, he still showed up to the closing party like it was some genius business move. That was his magic. Never let them see you sweat. But now, they're seeing everything. Sources say Diddy didn't just control his image, he engineered it. A full-time team of 12 just to manage how he looked, talked, and even reacted in public. Former assistants told me he'd rehearse interview answers for hours, staring into a mirror, crafting the perfect calm. One insider spilled that his media coach ran stress simulations just to train him not to crack. But behind the designer shades, something darker was always lurking. Whispers of rage, explosive outbursts, the kind of behavior no PR team could polish. There were 2 Diddys. A former Bad Boy Records staffer confessed, the smooth, camera-ready mogul, and the one who hurled phones at walls when he didn't get his way. These stories never stuck, because no one powerful ever backed them. Until now, the first real cracks, they appeared just days before the trial. Outside his lawyer's office, paparazzi caught him snapping at a fan for simply asking for a photo. Then came that icy press conference, where he clutched the podium so tightly his knuckles turned white. Tiny moments, yes, but for a man who spent millions on self-control, they were flashing red warnings. Celebrity crisis expert Tanya Rodriguez broke it down for me. These megastars build images like fortress walls, but pressure, it breaks walls, fast. And on day 3 of the trial, those walls collapsed. Multiple witnesses say Diddy unraveled. Court reporter Marcus Jenkins described him shaking violently as key evidence was revealed. His leg bounced so aggressively it rattled the defense table. He interrupted his own lawyer 3 times, getting louder each time, until the judge had to step in. Then, it happened. Diddy suddenly shouted mid-testimony. The courtroom froze. Judge Harmon issued a warning. One more outburst and he'd be held in contempt. Observers say his face twisted with a rage the public had never seen from him. Not in 30 years, but just when it seemed like he might pull it together. The courtroom doors opened, and in walked the one person Diddy never thought he'd see. Not here. Not now. His longtime industry rival, a man with a vendetta and the power to burn everything down. Sent. He wasn't just attending, he was there to publicly support Cassie. And in that moment, Diddy's face drained of all color. Whatever control he had left was gone. They've been hiding this rage for years. But now, the mask is off. Can Diddy's empire survive this kind of exposure? Or is this the final chapter?
And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the, but he wants you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. You're still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey Epstein.
Tell him the story.
Tell him the story. So we talk about rumors. Right?
Yeah.
And we, when you Google his name, there's a rumor that pops up that he was Diddy's boy toy.
Oh shit!
Right?
Wait, so this is
So Charlamagne said
It's not true, but I told after he brought up
this.
this stuff with you, I said, you know what 50 gonna say when he meets you?
Oh no, I don't know that was going on.
You know,
I can't wait to run into him again.
what you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your booty in Miami.
You know what 50 gonna say to you when he sees you.
What?
I heard Diddy touch the butt.
Yeah. Wait till I see him. Wait till I see him. I'm like, yo.
What's happening with Puffy? I know you're not really tapped in, but what is it?
The last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sodomized me. He sodomized me. I was like, yo, look. I could find other things to do for money.
They've hated each other for years, but no one expected this. For nearly 2 decades, 50 Cent and Diddy weren't just rivals. They were locked in a cold war of power, pride, and buried secrets. And now, that war just turned explosive. Back in the early 2000s, 50 didn't just diss Diddy in songs. He dragged him across interviews, radio shows, and savage Instagram posts. Fans still remember the time 50 publicly implied Diddy knew more than he let on about Biggie's murder, or when he questioned Diddy's sexuality in front of millions. This wasn't music industry shade. This was personal vendetta. So when 50 Cent walked into that courtroom on day 3 of the trial, wearing a flawless black suit, those signature dark shades, the entire room stopped breathing. Court reporter Janelle Martin later said, "You could literally hear phones vibrating in people's pockets. That's how silent it got." Diddy had been whispering something to his lawyer. Then snap, his head jerked up. 3 separate witnesses say his face shifted from confusion to shock, to something that looked an awful lot like fear, because no one thought 50 would actually show up. He'd been trolling Diddy online since Cassie's lawsuit went public, posting hotel surveillance footage from 2016 that allegedly showed Diddy attacking her. His caption? "Money can't hide who you really are." The video racked up 12 million views in hours. And then came a series of Instagram posts teasing that 50 had even more receipts. What fans didn't know, 50 had been in touch with Cassie's legal team for weeks. A source told me 50 personally reached out the moment Cassie's lawsuit dropped, telling them he believed her and that he wanted to help, because when 50 Cent goes to war, he plays the long game. As he sat down in the back row of that courtroom, everything shifted. People started watching him more than the actual trial. Diddy pretended to stay focused, but courtroom sketches captured him constantly glancing over his shoulder, like a man being hunted by his past. Then came the bombshell. During lunch recess, 50 walked out to a wall of cameras and reporters and dropped a nuclear statement. He wasn't just supporting Cassie, he was personally funding her legal battle through the G-Unity Foundation. "I'm putting money behind making sure survivors get heard," he said, "and I'm going to help. Other women come forward about the powerful men who hurt them." He paused, then added, "This isn't about me and Diddy's history. This is about right and wrong." Inside the courtroom, the second Diddy heard those words, he snapped, He slammed his fist on the table so hard, his water glass spilled. His lawyer rushed to calm him, but Diddy's hands were trembling. Courtroom security stepped closer. And just as the tension hit its peak, the prosecution made an announcement. They were about to reveal new evidence. Proof, they claimed, that Diddy lied under oath. And what played on the courtroom screens next left everyone in shock. Could this be the end of Diddy's empire? Or is there still more hiding in the shadows?
He would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like hating on, like doing things with people I done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I was like, yes, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them and shit.
Yeah. Leftovers.
Yeah.
You take your leftovers. A lot of niggas have more leftovers.
He was not offended by what I was offended by.
They found Kendrick and Wifey.
You know, that's obviously doing shopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That was a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, man. I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the wedding. I always say to myself, like,
it was someone's wedding?
It was Chris Lighty's wedding. It's in Miami. Nori's there. Nori knows this because I looked at him like, yo.
The courtroom was already on edge after 50 Cent's bombshell appearance. But what came next? No one saw it coming. The tension? You could feel it. The air was thick, buzzing, like the whole room was holding its breath. And then, the prosecutions. Lead attorney stood up, wearing that look, smug, confident, like they were about to drop a bomb. Your Honor, we'd like to present evidence. Item 47B. The defense team froze. Diddy's lawyer jumped to his feet. Your Honor, we haven't been provided with anything labeled 47B in discovery. That's when everyone realized something unexpected was happening. The judge immediately called both legal teams to the bench. They huddled in hushed, intense whispers for 5 full minutes. Meanwhile, Diddy sat alone at the defense table, cracking his knuckles, one by one. According to the courtroom artist, he only does that when he's under pressure. And in the back row, 50 Cent didn't move an inch. Eyes locked forward, silent, like he knew what was about to happen. When the attorneys returned, Diddy's lawyer looked defeated. Then the judge dropped the line that changed everything. The court will allow this evidence, as it was only discovered yesterday. Then came the footage. Security video. Diddy's Miami residence. April 2018. The screen flickered on, and the room went silent. It showed Diddy and Cassie in a hallway. There was no sound, but the body language screamed everything. He was pointing, shouting, cornering her. Cassie looked cornered, tense. Then he grabbed her shoulders, shook her, then shoved her straight to the ground. Gasps echoed through the courtroom. Diddy leapt to his feet, his chair flying back. "That's not what happened," he yelled. His lawyer lunged, pulling him back down, frantically whispering into his ear. But Diddy was spiraling, eyes wide, breathing erratic. He looked like a man watching everything unravel in real time. A court officer edged closer, just in case. But what made this footage truly devastating was what Diddy had sworn under oath just the day before. "I have never, in any instance, physically assaulted Ms. Ventura or any woman. There are no videos or evidence of such behavior because it never occurred." But now, the video said otherwise, and the world was watching. As the prosecutor tore into the contradictions, Diddy broke, head shaking, muttering to himself. At one point, he just put his head down on the table. His attorney begged the judge for a recess. Denied. "We will continue. Mr. Combs needs to maintain his composure." Even the bailiff whispered later, "It was like watching a man come undone before your eyes." And the fallout was instant. As the court adjourned, Hollywood went into meltdown mode. Texts flying, group chats lit, loyalties questioned. And Diddy? The fortress of silence around him began to crumble, brick by brick. But here's the twist no one saw coming. His own circle started walking away. The question now is, was this the moment Diddy lost everything? Or is there still more waiting to be exposed?
Like all these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long
They
time.
said you're a hater. They
You're
said
a
you're
hater.
crazy.
You do this, yeah. And now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. There's all this shit that's coming.
50, you can't make jokes about it.
No.
The internet might come for you, bro.
All I'm saying
It might come from
you
you.
see it now. All of these complaints. People were damn, they were and pillaged. This was what was going on, right? And what do I get for the? I went through years of a hater. You're a hater. You want this and that. I'm just watching. Like I look at things and go. When you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like. Then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Like that, look, you know, so, like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I go also 10 years, 20 years later, and it comes back. And it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys.
What you mean?
The laws are the way they are because
Because of the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Oh.
Before the courtroom shockwaves, Diddy was untouchable. Celebrities lined up to party with him, collaborate with him, defend him. He was the kingmaker, and nobody in Hollywood dared challenge that throne. But that illusion, it shattered in seconds. Day 3 changed everything. The leaked footage, the courtroom meltdown, and the silence that had protected him for years, gone. But the real trigger? 50 Cent. When 50 walked into that courtroom and publicly backed Cassie, it was like someone cracked the dam wide open. According to one insider, once 50 picked a side, the fear disappeared. People finally felt safe speaking up. And suddenly, the walls around Diddy began collapsing. Within hours of 50's courthouse moment, the celebrity world split. Cleanly. Loyalty versus truth, silence versus justice. The unfollows started fast. Usher? Gone. He and Diddy had multiple hits together. Didn't say a word. Just vanished from his following list. Mary J. Blige, once ride or die in the bad boy days, unfollowed. Quietly. And Justin Bieber? Not only unfollowed, he deleted every photo of Diddy from his page. Mentor? What mentor? This wasn't petty shade. This was surgical. Distance. Then came the cryptic messages. No names, just vibes. And they were loud. Lizzo posted, "Believe women." The Weeknd dropped a black screen. Power doesn't equal truth. Even Drake, who never jumps into drama, shared, "The truth always surfaces eventually." Right, after the footage leaked. But Cardi B? She didn't tiptoe. She went live. I've seen this type of behavior in the industry for years. It's time we stop protecting abusers just because they got money. She never said Diddy's name. She didn't have to. And here's when things got ice cold. Diddy's calls stopped getting returned. A source inside his camp confirmed it. He called Rihanna 6 times. Not once did she answer. Beyoncé and Jay-Z refused to release a statement, despite desperate requests from Diddy's team. And those refusals circulated like wildfire through the industry. Meanwhile, Cassie's support grew louder and stronger. Female artists reaching out to her legal team, willing to testify, some for the first time ever. And even those who never touch legal drama, posting, speaking out. Lady Gaga sent Cassie flowers. The note, "I believe you." Short, simple, earth-shattering. Just a week ago, this was unimaginable. Diddy's grip was absolute. Speaking out meant career suicide. Now, the balance of power has flipped. More and more celebrities are jumping ship, and fast. But the biggest explosion was still coming. Because as stars chose sides, as the public turned, and as his past began catching up to him, Diddy broke. In a courtroom outburst so wild, even the judge was stunned. Now the world is watching the empire crumble in real time. But here's the real question. Was this just the beginning of Diddy's downfall? Or are even darker secrets still waiting to be uncovered?
This guy trying to get
I don't know. Like, if this it's a simple suit situation, but it's like
20 mil, I can say.
You still had the blackest face out. You still had the biggest voice because he's like,
But his
damn.
voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah. You heard what he just said, right? He's like, yo, certain things they let it go by because it's fluff. Like they would look like he would say stuff, and it's like he wasn't like in the closet; he was like in the hallway. Now you see so much shit that you go away. No, this was visible.
He was in the hallway. We saw the video.
Yeah,
We saw that video.
It comes out later. You're like, that's not the closet. That's the hallway. He didn't get off out. Like you can tell that he was already.
Nah, New Yorkers know. Because when Fab, he was like, yo, Fab, we ain't party. Fab was like, nah, we partying tonight.
He's like, no, like, but he didn't party. And I'm like, yo, they let that one go. Like, I had to say something about it later because I was like, oh, it was.
They thought they could silence her. They thought no one would dare go against him. But on day 3, that illusion shattered. For good. The courtroom was packed. Eyes everywhere. Celebs tucked in corners, cameras lurking. And right in the middle of it all, 50 Cent. Arms crossed, silent, watching, waiting, but behind the silence, a storm was building. Diddy wasn't himself that morning. A court clerk told me he was whispering to his attorneys. Again and again, louder each time. His leg, shaking nonstop, tie, loosened, tightened, loosened again. It was like watching a man fall apart in real time. Then Cassie took the stand. She looked the jury straight in the eyes. No trembling, no hesitation. Her words, sharp, controlled, and damning. He said he made me, she testified, and he could destroy me just as easily. The courtroom held its breath. Diddy didn't. He started shaking his head. His lawyer touched his arm, gently, trying to pull him back from the edge. But the edge was already gone. Cassie continued. She described a party at Diddy's Hamptons mansion, a 2018 night that turned into a 2-day prison. Locked in a room, no escape. All because he saw her talking to another music executive. That's when it happened. Diddy's face morphed into something unrecognizable. His eyes widened, his jaw locked, a vein pulsed across his forehead like it might burst. Then he exploded. That's all lies, he screamed, pointing straight at Cassie. You know what you did. The entire courtroom froze. Even the reporter's fingers stopped typing. Cassie didn't flinch, didn't even look at him. But Diddy wasn't finished. He turned. And you, he yelled toward the gallery, right at 50 Cent. You'll regret getting involved in this. Security moved in. Fast. Officers between him and the witness stand. One behind his chair. Judge Harmon slammed her gavel, furious. Mr. Combs, you will control yourself in my courtroom. One more outburst and I will hold you in contempt. Diddy's attorney tried to ask for a recess. The judge didn't even let him finish. Sit down, counsel. We will continue. And just like that, the myth of Diddy, the untouchable mogul, crumbled. A juror scribbled notes. Fast, furious. Not a good sign for the defense. Cassie? She calmly took a sip of water and kept going. Her attorney later said, she's not scared anymore. She has support now. From the most unexpected ally in the industry, 50 Cent and 50's response to Diddy's meltdown, a slow, deliberate smile. Like he wanted this moment, like he planned it. Because after court, the shift became undeniable. Diddy's image as the composed businessman, dead. His legal team panicked. Their entire defense collapsed. They huddled late into the night, scrambling. New strategy? Paint Diddy as passionate but misunderstood. But nobody was buying it. The next morning, they filed for a mistrial, blaming 50 Cent's presence for provoking Diddy. They even included screenshots from 50's posts as evidence of a conspiracy. The judge? She shut it down. Fast. Mr. Combs' behavior is his responsibility, and while Diddy's team scrambled to reinvent him, Cassie's side went on the offensive. Her lawyer asked the judge to allow 3 new witnesses, people who were too scared to testify before. But after seeing Diddy lose it on the stand, They came forward. A former bodyguard, 2 assistants, all with first-hand stories. And 50? He kept the heat on, posting, clapping back. His latest post? A split screen, Diddy in court next to the security footage. Caption, actions speak louder than lawyers. 3 million likes in 6 hours. He also announced a docu-series, Music Industry Secrets. Fans are already convinced it's aimed at Diddy. But the most stunning twist? Cassie's transformation. When she returned to the stand, she didn't just testify. She owned the room. Straighter posture, stronger voice, fierce energy. Her lawyer said, she's found her voice. She knows she's not alone anymore. And the jury? They felt the shift. Body language experts say jurors leaned away from Diddy after the outburst. One analyst told me they saw the real him, and they won't forget it. And beyond the trial, Diddy's empire, cracking Revolt media stock, dropped 14% after the outburst. Brand deals, quietly frozen. His talent agency, reportedly reviewing his entire contract. Insiders say he could lose up to $200 million even if he wins the case. Because this isn't just a trial anymore. It's a reckoning. Diddy's once iron grip on the industry slipping, Cassie's voice rising. And with 50 Cent promising more secrets, the worst may still be coming. What if this case isn't just about Diddy? What if it's about an industry that's been protecting monsters for decades? And if that's true,